She slammed the door so hard the frame rattled, her wife's tear-streaked face flashing in her mind like a lightning strike. "How could you betray us like this?" Indy screamed into the empty hallway, her voice echoing off the cold walls of their Brooklyn brownstone. But deep down, she knew this storm had been brewing since the day they brought little Jordan home, the day her in-laws' mockery turned into something far more sinister. Indy stood in the kitchen of their cozy brownstone, the morning sun filtering through the lace curtains, casting a warm glow on the granite countertops. She sipped her coffee, black and strong, just like her resolve had become over the years. At 38, with her short-cropped hair and a tattoo of a phoenix rising on her forearm, Indy embodied the fierce independence she'd fought for her entire life. Her wife, Jamie, was still upstairs, probably coaxing their 10-year-old son, Jordan, into his school uniform. The boy was a bundle of energy, his dark curls bouncing as he laughed at Jamie's silly jokes. Indy smiled at the thought, Jordan, the child they'd adopted 5 years ago from a foster home in Harlem. He was black, they were white, and in the eyes of Jamie's conservative family from upstate New York, that made their family a punchline, a scandal. It started innocently enough, or so it seemed. Jamie's parents, Harold and Evelyn, had always been polite but distant about their daughter's sexuality. They attended the wedding in 2015, right after Obergefell made it legal nationwide, but their smiles were tight, their hugs brief. When Indy and Jamie announced the adoption, though, the facade cracked. A black kid? In this family? Harold had boomed at a Thanksgiving dinner, his face reddening from too much whiskey. "You're just asking for trouble. What will the neighbors think?" Evelyn had chimed in with her saccharine concern. "Darling, it's admirable, but are you sure? Raising a child from that background, it's not easy." The cousins snickered behind their hands, whispering about virtue signaling, and how Indy, the tomboy artist, was dragging Jamie down. Indy had bitten her tongue then, for Jamie's sake. Jamie, with her soft blonde waves and gentle demeanor, was the peacemaker. She worked as a school counselor in Manhattan, helping kids navigate their identities, while Indy ran a small graphic design firm from home. Their life was a tapestry of love woven through challenges, late-night talks about systemic racism, attending protests for Black Lives Matter, ensuring Jordan felt seen and valued in a world that often didn't. But the mockery festered like an untreated wound. Family gatherings became battlegrounds. Jamie's sister Laura was the worst, sharp-tongued and ambitious, climbing the corporate ladder in finance. "You're playing house with a charity case," Laura once sneered at a barbecue, her eyes flicking to Jordan as he played with the dog. Indy had wanted to slap her, but instead, she held Jamie's hand tighter, whispering, "We don't need them." Years passed and the distance grew. Jamie's family stopped inviting them to holidays, citing scheduling conflicts. Indy relished the peace, focusing on their little unit. Jordan thrived. Top of his class, passionate about soccer and drawing comics. He called them both Mom, his affection bridging any gaps biology couldn't. But beneath the surface, Jamie carried the hurt. "They'll come around," she'd say, her voice hopeful. Indy doubted it, but she supported her wife, attending therapy sessions where they unpacked the layers of rejection. Then came the call that shattered everything. It was a crisp autumn evening, leaves crunching underfoot as Indy walked home from the subway. Her phone buzzed, Laura's number. She almost ignored it, but something in her gut twisted. "Indy, it's about Mom and Dad." Laura's voice was uncharacteristically shaky. Harold had suffered a massive stroke. Evelyn was in hysterics, and they needed help. But it wasn't just medical, there was more. Laura confessed, between sobs, that their parents had been struggling financially, bad investments wiping out their savings. And now, with Harold incapacitated, they faced losing their home. Indy felt a surge of conflicting emotions: pity, anger, vindication. She told Jamie, who immediately wanted to rush upstate. "Their family," Jamie insisted, her eyes pleading. Indy relented, but with conditions. They'd help, but not without boundaries. As they packed the car, Jordan asked innocently, "Are Grandma and Grandpa nice?" Indy forced a smile. "They're complicated, buddy." Arriving at the sprawling but faded colonial house in Albany, the air was thick with tension. Evelyn opened the door, her face gaunt, eyes red-rimmed. "Thank you for coming," she whispered, glancing at Jordan with a mix of curiosity and something softer, regret. Harold lay in the hospital bed they'd set up in the living room, his speech slurred, one side of his face drooping. Laura hovered, barking orders at a nurse. We didn't know who else to call, she admitted later, over lukewarm tea. The bills are piling up and I can't do this alone. Indy watched Jamie spring into action, organizing paperwork, calling specialists. She herself handled the logistics, selling off assets, negotiating with creditors. But as days turned to weeks, old wounds reopened. One night, Evelyn cornered Indy in the kitchen. I was wrong, she said, her voice trembling. About Jordan. About you too. Seeing how you handle this. You're stronger than we ever gave you credit for. Indy nodded, but forgiveness didn't come easy. It hurt Jamie more than you know, she replied coolly. The real storm hit when Laura's secret surfaced. Digging through financial records, Indy discovered discrepancies. Laura had been siphoning money from their parents' accounts for her own lavish lifestyle. Designer clothes, vacations to the Hamptons, all while preaching fiscal responsibility. Confronted, Laura exploded. You think you're so perfect? With your progressive family? We mocked you because it was ridiculous. But now look, you're here saving the day. Her words dripped with resentment, a betrayal that cut deep, especially for Jamie. Jamie confronted her sister, tears streaming. How could you? They're our parents. Laura lashed out, revealing her own buried pain. Jealousy of Jamie's happiness, her perfect life with Indy and Jordan. The argument escalated, voices raised, until Harold from his bed mumbled, "Enough. Family." It was a turning point, forcing them all to face the fractures. As winter approached, Indy found herself bonding unexpectedly with Evelyn. Long talks by the fire, sharing stories of loss and love. Evelyn admitted her fears stemmed from her own upbringing in a rigid era. I didn't understand, she said. But Jordan, he's a light. Like you and Jamie. Indy softened, seeing the humanity beneath the prejudice. The betrayal from Laura lingered like a shadow over the household. Jamie was devastated. Her trust in her sister shattered. She was always the golden child, Jamie confided to Indy one night, as they lay in the guest room, Jordan asleep between them for comfort. I thought we were close, but it's unforgivable. Indy held her close, stroking her hair, whispering assurances. Their love had always been their anchor. Met in college at NYU. Two art majors drawn together by shared dreams and stolen kisses in the village. Now amid this chaos it felt more vital than ever. Laura cornered promised to repay every cent. But her apologies rang hollow, laced with defensiveness. I was stressed, she claimed. Work is cutthroat in the city. Indy saw through it. Laura's life was a facade of success, masking loneliness. No partner, no real friends, just ambition. In a rare moment of vulnerability, Laura admitted over coffee, "Seeing you and Jamie. It's what I want, but I pushed it away." Indy listened, her artist's eye catching the cracks in Laura's polished exterior. As Harold's condition stabilized with therapy, the family dynamics shifted. Jordan became the unwitting bridge. He charmed Evelyn with his drawings, sketches of superheroes saving the day. "This one's you, Grandma," he said, handing her a picture of a wise owl. Evelyn's eyes welled up. "Thank you, sweetie." For the first time she asked about his life, his school, his dreams. Jordan chattered about soccer practice in Prospect Park, his friends from diverse backgrounds. "Mom says everyone's different, but that's what makes us cool," he beamed. Indy watched from afar, a mix of pride and wariness. Jamie threw herself into caregiving, but the emotional toll mounted. One afternoon she broke down in the backyard, autumn leaves swirling around her. "I feel like I'm losing my family all over again," she sobbed. Indy knelt beside her, cupping her face. "You have us, me and Jordan. We're your family." Their kiss was tender, a reaffirmation amid the turmoil. But doubt crept in. Jamie started questioning their decision to help. "Maybe we should go home," she whispered. Indy agreed, but not before resolving the mess. The high point of conflict came during a family meeting Indy insisted on. Gathered around the dining table, tensions boiled. Laura defended her actions, blaming their parents for favoritism. "You always spoiled Jamie," she accused. Harold, struggling to speak, shook his head. Evelyn intervened. "We were wrong about many things. But Laura, what you did, it's theft." The room erupted. Laura stormed out, vowing to handle it alone. Jamie chased after her, pleading for reconciliation. "We're sisters, don't throw this away." In the aftermath, Indy took charge. She contacted a financial advisor, set up a trust for Harold and Evelyn, but more importantly, she facilitated honest conversations. One evening by the fireplace, Evelyn opened up about her regrets. "When Jamie came out, I was scared. And the adoption, I thought it was too much change." Indy shared her own story. Growing up in a foster system herself, fighting for acceptance. "Love isn't about fitting in," she said. "It's about building something real." Evelyn nodded, tears falling. "You've built something beautiful." Jordan's presence accelerated the healing. He taught Harold simple words through games, his patience endless. "You're getting better, Grandpa," he cheered. Harold's eyes lit up, a spark returning. The old man, once gruff, now asked for stories about Indy and Jamie's life in Brooklyn. "Tell me about the protests," he mumbled. Indy obliged, describing marches for equality, the sense of community. It was a bridge across generations. But Laura remained distant, her pride a barrier. Jamie reached out repeatedly, texts and calls going unanswered. The pain-etched lines on Jamie's face, her usual warmth dimmed. Indy planned a surprise. A weekend getaway to the Catskills, just the three of them. "We need to recharge," she said. As they hiked trails blanketed in fall colors, Jordan skipping ahead, Jamie leaned on Indy. "Thank you for being my rock." Their hands intertwined, the romance rekindling in quiet moments. Returning, they found Laura at the house, bags packed. "I'm leaving for the city," she announced. "But first, I'm sorry." It was genuine this time, her voice breaking. She confessed her envy. Jamie's fulfilling life contrasted her empty one. "I mocked you to feel superior, but I was wrong." Jamie hugged her, forgiveness tentative but real. "We can start over," she said. As Thanksgiving neared, the family tentatively planned a gathering. Indy suggested hosting in Brooklyn, neutral ground. Evelyn agreed eagerly. "We want to see your home, Jordan's home." It was a step toward redemption. Yet, undercurrents of drama persisted. Harold's recovery plateaued, frustrations mounting. One night, he lashed out at Evelyn, old resentments surfacing. "You always sided with the girls." Indy mediated, drawing on her design skills to create a visual timeline of family milestones, weddings, births, adoptions. "Look at what we've overcome," she urged. It diffused the tension, fostering gratitude. Jordan, intuitive beyond his years, drew a family portrait including everyone. "We're all connected," he explained. His innocence pierced defenses, reminding them of what's at stake. Winter descended on Albany like a heavy blanket, snow muffling the world outside. Inside the colonial house, warmth flickered from the hearth, but emotional chills persisted. Harold's therapy sessions were grueling, his progress slow. Evelyn fussed over him, her worry manifesting in overprotectiveness. Jamie commuted weekends from Brooklyn, Indy and Jordan joining when possible. The arrangement strained their marriage, late-night arguments about boundaries. "They're sucking you dry," Indy said one evening, frustration bubbling. Jamie snapped back. "They're my parents." But in the quiet aftermath, they reconciled, their love a resilient flame. Laura's return to the city brought sporadic visits, her apologies evolving into actions. She transferred funds back, albeit slowly. "I'm seeing a therapist," she confided to Jamie during a phone call. Unpacking a lot. It was progress, but trust rebuilt brick by brick. A pivotal moment came when Jordan faced his own challenge. At school, a bully taunted him about his two moms and skin color. "You're not even their real kid," the boy jeered. Jordan came home in tears, curling into Indy's lap. "Why do people hate us?" he asked. Indy's heart broke, but she channeled it into strength. "Some people fear what they don't know, but we rise above." They role-played responses, empowering him. Sharing this with Evelyn over video call, Indy saw a shift. "That's awful," Evelyn gasped. "How can I help?" It was the first time she offered support unprompted. Indy suggested books on allyship, which Evelyn devoured. "I'm learning," she said later. Harold, too, engaged, asking Jordan about his feelings during visits. The boy's candor disarmed him. "I love my family, even if it's different." The drama escalated when Laura's secret deepened. Investigating further, Indy uncovered that Laura hadn't just siphoned money. She'd involved shady investors, risking the family home as collateral. Confronted again, Laura broke down. I was desperate, my job's on the line. The betrayal stung anew, Jamie feeling fooled. How many lies? She demanded. Laura fled to a hotel, isolating herself. Indy, ever the strategist, proposed a plan. We sell non-essentials, refinance. But emotionally she supported Jamie through the rage. She's lost, but not irredeemable. Their nights turned intimate, not physical but soul-bearing. Whispered dreams of travel, expanding their family. Maybe another adoption, Jamie mused. Indy smiled. One day. Spring thaw mirrored thawing relations. Evelyn visited Brooklyn for the first time, marveling at the vibrant neighborhood. It's alive here, she said, strolling through Prospect Park. Jordan showed her his favorite spots, the carousel, the zoo. At home she admired Indy's artwork. Bold pieces on identity and love. You're talented, Evelyn complimented. Over dinner, soul food from a local spot, stories flowed. Evelyn shared her youth in the 60s, civil rights marches she admired from afar. I was too scared to join, she admitted. Indy nodded. It's never too late to stand up. Harold, mobile with a cane, joined a later visit. The brownstone buzzed with awkward energy at first. But Jordan's soccer game broke the ice. Everyone cheering from the sidelines. Go Jordan! Harold yelled, his voice stronger. Post-game, ice cream cones in hand, Harold pulled Indy aside. Thank you for everything. His eyes misted. I was a fool. Laura's redemption arc culminated in a family therapy session Indy arranged. In a neutral Manhattan office, truths poured out. Laura admitted her jealousy stemmed from her own suppressed feelings. She dated women in college but hid it for career's sake. I mocked you to deny myself. Jamie's eyes widened. Why didn't you say? Laura shrugged. Fear. The session ended in tears and hugs, a fragile bond reforming. As summer bloomed, the family gathered for a barbecue in Albany. Laughter echoed, Jordan teaching Harold card tricks, Evelyn and Jamie swapping recipes. Indy watched Jamie's smile return, her heart swelling. But a final twist loomed. Harold's health declined suddenly. A secondary stroke. Hospital vigils tested them all. In waiting rooms, conversations deepened. Evelyn confessed to Indy. You've shown me what real family means, chosen, not just blood. Indy squeezed her hand. We're all chosen now. Laura stepped up, managing affairs with newfound responsibility. I won't let you down again, she vowed. Jamie forgave, their sisterhood mending. Harold pulled through, but the scare prompted changes. The family decided to downsize, selling the Albany house for a condo nearer Brooklyn. We want to be close, Evelyn insisted. Indy and Jamie helped with the move, packing boxes filled with memories. Amid the chaos, tender moments emerged. Finding old photos, Evelyn showed one of Jamie as a toddler. She was always kind-hearted. Indy smiled. She still is. Jordan adapted seamlessly, excited for more grandma time. He started a journal, chronicling the family adventure. His entries touched Indy, sketches of unity, words of hope. Romance rekindled for Indy and Jamie amid the transitions. Date nights in the city, walks along the High Line, dinners at cozy bistros. We've weathered so much, Jamie said one evening, toasting with wine. And come out stronger. Indy kissed her hand. Because of you, your heart. Laura's transformation was profound. She quit her high-stress job, pursuing counseling like Jamie. Inspired by you too, she said. Coming out to the family, she found acceptance. We're proud, Evelyn assured. Laura dated openly, her happiness infectious. A year later, the bond solidified. Thanksgiving in Brooklyn was a triumph. Diverse dishes symbolizing their blended family. Toasts to resilience, laughter filling the air. Jordan, now 11, raised his glass of juice. To family old and new. But life threw one more curve. Jordan's birth mother resurfaced, seeking contact. A letter arrived, stirring anxieties. What if she wants him back? Jamie fretted. Indy remained calm. We're his moms legally, emotionally. They met her. A woman named Keisha, recovering from addiction. I just want to know he's okay, she said tearfully. Indy empathized. sharing updates. It evolved into cautious inclusion, occasional visits, building a larger circle of love. This extension challenged prejudices further. Evelyn, initially wary, warmed to Keisha. "She's brave," she remarked. The experience humanized everyone, reinforcing themes of forgiveness. In quiet reflections, Indy marveled at the journey. From mockery to this, a tapestry of redemption. She designed a family crest, phoenixes intertwined, symbolizing rebirth. As seasons cycled, their love story deepened. Jamie proposed renewing vows to celebrate how far we've come. The ceremony, intimate in Central Park, included everyone. Vows exchanged under blooming cherry blossoms, tears of joy flowing. Jordan stood as ring-bearer, beaming. Best family ever. The renewal ceremony marked a new chapter, but life's dramas didn't cease entirely. Harold's health required ongoing care. Evelyn stepping up with grace. "I've found my strength," she told Indy during a walk in the park. Indy nodded, proud of the growth. Laura flourished in her new career, advocating for LGBTQ+ rights in corporate settings. "Paying it forward," she said. Her relationship with a kind-hearted teacher blossomed, adding to the family's joy. Jordan navigated adolescence with their support, joining a youth group for adopted kids of color. "It helps me feel seen," he shared. Indy and Jamie attended meetings, learning alongside him. One evening, as snow fell outside their brownstone, the extended family gathered for hot cocoa and stories. Evelyn recounted her evolution. "I was blind to so much, but you opened my eyes." Harold grunted agreement, his speech clearer. "Proud of you girls." Jamie squeezed Indy's hand under the table, their eyes meeting in silent understanding. The path hadn't been easy, betrayals, heartaches, but it led to this profound connection. In a moment of quiet, Indy reflected on the irony. Those who mocked their choice now sought their wisdom on inclusivity, love, resilience. Laura often called for advice. "How do you make it work?" Indy's response: "With empathy every day." The story culminated in a family vacation to the Grand Canyon, a symbol of vastness and endurance. Standing at the rim, wind whipping hair, Jordan exclaimed, "It's like our family, big and beautiful." Laughter echoed across the chasm. Back home, life settled into a rhythm of love and support. Indy's design business thrived, incorporating themes of diversity. Jamie's counseling expanded to family reconciliation programs. Their romance endured, small gestures sustaining it. Notes left in lunchboxes, spontaneous dances in the kitchen. "You're my forever," Jamie whispered one night. And Jordan? He grew into a confident teen, advocating for change. "Thanks to my moms," he'd say. In the end, the mockery faded into lessons learned, replaced by bonds forged in fire. A testament to human capacity for change, love's triumph over prejudice. Their story, once fractured, now whole. A beacon of hope in an often divided world.